All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, VGMHero. This is the VGM show. Wow, first episode. There will be no editing, my friends, okay? I like to do everything raw, okay? I don't see the need in super cutting and doing all that stuff. I think there's enough of that out there right now anyway, with all these people seeming like they're perfect. I have the black background, but it's like still that reflection pisses me off. Cheers, everybody. Oh, man. I've been waiting to do this a long time, and I think I finally got enough of my shtick down that now we could actually start having an official podcast, all right? As I said, I'm your host, VGMHero, and I am here to save your day, save your week, save your life, okay? Hopefully. Cheers. All right. Now, before I get into anything like topic-wise, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all the people who have been supporting me and who have encouraged me to start my podcast. So let's quickly go through as many as I can. I got a lot of lists of friends from Twitter and stuff. They've been very supportive and very engaging. So let's say SuperSisi, thank you so much. Top Loader, SinceSpacies, thank you. Premium Heart, thank you. TrueSinister, Ronald. Thank you, RetroToshi. Thank you, UnpluggedRetro. Thank you, ColonelFalcon. Thank you, RetroRebellion. That's my buddy Chris. Make sure you guys check out everybody's page. I'll write a description somewhere else, possibly below or somewhere else, where you guys can actually get a little more detail about the pages that I'm talking about. They're all great people. They're all awesome creators, but each one is different. Some people do all video game content. Some people do some political stuff. Some people do only Final Fantasy or JRPGs and stuff. It's a nice variety, to be sure. But I'll see what I can do about making it a little bit more detailed so that you know exactly what you're getting when you go to those pages. But all great people nonetheless. cskiles, that's Carl. What a great guy. Beepfixer, that's my buddy Tim, who's over in Croatia. Okay. But he's all about like fixing retro consoles and stuff like that. So I'm sure you guys get a kick out of that. BigLipRadio, that's Papa J, Z Money, Bulk Lesnar, and Bob. Dynamic Twins, those guys are great. Those are twins that have a really nice clean page just about like random games that they want to talk about and engage. So head over there and make sure you talk to them. Year of the Dad Gaming, thank you to Old Hunter Joseph, thank you to MrSushiHut, SwedishXeno, SwedishGamester, Super Ellen, JohnnyJoystick, Super Jude, and let's see who else I got. I got like gnarcader, right? We got Unclechunt. That's a great, my buddy Chris over there. He's down in Australia, but he writes like children's books and he does gaming and he does, I think, something else too. He's got a couple of things that he actually does. He's a busy guy. So check him out. We got 16-Bit Nostalgia. He's a huge page. Really nice guy, metalhead. Always puts up nice photos like, you know, of video game footage or of an actual physical game that he has and stuff. He's got a really, really nice page. Then we get like MoonPieDreams. That's my buddy MoonPie. Always has good takes. He's a big Sega Saturn guy. We got Bandicoot Bill. We got SillenSillen. That's Sean and that's Pete. And then we got, oh, that's right, Bobblehead. Pete. That's another one of my guys over there. Big Children of Bodom fan, right? We got Red 47X. That's Jeremy. And like I said, I'm going to have to spell it all out below or something, guys. But I'd like to forward this by saying thank you to everybody who's been engaging with me on Twitter, who's been a good friend to me, nothing but polite, and who has supported me all the way through. We got Stewie55 UK. That's Stewie. He doesn't come on very often, but when he does come on, he reposts my stuff, and God bless him for that. Bergeau Stormy, TempesttTO, that's Storm Productions. It's a good friend of mine. And you're in plays. The Greek King, Roosetheroader. That's my dog, the driver. Guy's got class, man. You guys got to check him out. All about driving stuff, both gaming. He's also does like Pokemon cards. And he's just a good collector of different things. Which reminds me, that's also Chill Pilled. Mr. Gen X guy. Chill Pill does trading cards and stuff like that too. JohnsonHusky, a chef. He's a great guy. Papa Hobbs, another chef, Canadian, great guy too. Nothing but positivity out of that man. Retro Rob Reviews, Brian Oakhill. JazzLikesToGame, JRPG. Jazz, the JRPG queen. That's the JRPG page for those of you guys that like that. Mr. Axel Stone, Prince Ness, right? Super Ellen. BX Skulls, Joypad Lad Shop. That's the Joypad Lad Shop makes like custom stickers for video games and stuff. He'll do anything, but he does magnets and stuff too. Speaking of magnets, Kryfton, right? That's my good friend Kryfton over there. And that's about all I'll say for now. Nintendork, that's another good one. Nintendork, oh man, he specializes in fixing pinballs and stuff. He's another great guy. So I'll link it all down below. Frosty, Marauder, Savior Gaming. I got too many friends, guys. Evil Fuguru, all great people, wonderful collectors. They have lots of good physical collections, but make sure you guys check them out. Okay, that's all I got for now. I got too many, so I'm just gonna have to put the list out. So. Now, talking about what I want to talk about, right? What is this about? What is this podcast about? Well, mainly it's going to be about video games, surely. It'll be about a lot of other things that include my hobbies like guitar, motorcycles, music, martial arts. Big fan of martial arts and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of things. I certainly don't want to just drown you in video game stuff all day because sometimes that becomes monotonous. You know, you just keep hearing video game talk from all your guys' pages. And then it's like you go from one video or one podcast where they're talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 or something, right? And then you finish that hour, right? Go to the next podcast, Grand Theft Auto 6. Same talking points here. You know what I mean? Every podcast talks about the same thing. So I'll try not to be redundant, and I'll try to actually have a special take that I don't think anybody else is saying. But, you know, if it is a hot topic, what are you going to do, right? If it is the topic of today, my first episode, I had to do it. Not only because I've been pushing it, like I've been trying to do it, and my GoPro wasn't working. And or at least it was working, but it would cut up into like 22-minute clips or whatever. So it's like 4 parts to it. It's so stupid because that's an automatic GoPro feature. And I did not know that. So what this show is about is just basically hot topics in video games, hot topics anywhere, hot takes and stuff like that, possibly. Because I know I'm going to piss some people off, but I think that I'm going to try to be somewhere in the middle about most things. I don't hate on people. Some people do annoy me or piss me off, but I'm not a hater, right? I don't just say nasty things just to get under people's skin. But if you piss me off, that's a whole different story. Just be noted. My buddies on Twitter know that I can get pretty upset. And then all of a sudden I'm blocked and blacklisted from all over. I run into so many people that have blocked me by now that it's just funny because I'm like, I've never spoken to you. So there's only one way you decided to block me, and that's because you took the word of a psycho, basically. A psycho or two, an online bully or two, psychos. That's why people have blocked me, is because I stood up to a couple of bullies and they don't think that they're bullies, because they're simps. What can I say? As they called me, calling me a grifter. Yeah, a grifter that actually knows what the fuck he's talking about. All right. So it could be about anything, right? Just whatever happened during the week. Sometimes I want to give a public service announcement. Cannabis, that's another one. I'm a cannabis user in California here, so I'm not your average cannabis user. I tend to be a health conscious person. I love working out. I love nutrition. I love actually cooking too. I'm a home cook, so I eat pretty well. I treat myself pretty well. You know what I mean? And so sometimes it'll be something like that. I don't really try to promote cannabis for everybody, at least smoking it. I'm trying to get away from smoking it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with cannabis. Although I will say alcohol, like beer, that's hard to let go. I only started drinking beer in my like when I was 29 or something like that, and it's been kind of a nice chill thing to do to cool down. But you know, anybody that feels me about an ice cold beer after a hard day's work or something, like I totally get it now. I totally get it now. All right, so let's get into some of the topics. All right, this is already kind of old, but I did want to say something about it anyway. So I guess when God of War was the new trailer or the new pictures were shown, I guess some people are upset about how the female lead looks or whatever. So I guess the topic there is, female protagonists and if they require looking fugly. Short answer is no. No, they do not have to be fugly. Chun-Li was never fugly. She's one of the hottest women I've ever seen in my entire life in gaming. So there's that. So I think that the problem with the, I think that, for both sides to come and meet in the middle is that it's like, I don't think it matters that there's a female protagonist because Lara Croft or anything like that, I don't think that that's the problem. I think it's when it feels like it's an intentional thing of some sort, like it's being pushed, like it's being forced, but it's also like you had to make this person ugly in some way and not gorgeous. Because there's also that, right? Is that there's like a completely different. The other side of the spectrum on that is that I don't know where the middle necessarily is. I don't know if there's a perfect middle. But if you go too far to the ugly side, that does kind of annoy, right? That does kind of bother even me, where it's like, Jesus, man, did you have to make her face a complete train wreck? You know what I mean? Like, but then there's also the other side where you made her tits massive and you made her wear like a thong bikini or something like that, right? And now you're just feeding the online purge. So I do get that too. All right. Don't think I don't understand that there's like two sides to that, but definitely don't go and intentionally make women ugly. That's just doing a disservice to women in some sense. And we shouldn't have to feel like we need exact representation. Like, I don't know if there's some ugly chick, no offense or whatever. I don't know if there's some ugly chick going like, God, I wish they would make an ugly female protagonist. I don't think that was a real request. I think that there just needs to be more relatable material in some sense, more depth of character, right? Something to relate to based on their struggles. Not that like they're absolutely train wrecked face and they're like, oh, you guys want to save the day? Right? Like, I don't know if that's the right way either. So I think there just needs to be a lot more depth of character so that we can feel their struggles. Relate to their pain and their losses, like a loss of a loved one and stuff like that. I think that there needs to be more story-driven depth and relatability there if we're to try to bridge the gap between not being pervy and not being fugly or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents on the whole God of War thing, or like female protagonists, is that, I don't think if you can make a character look any way you want it, don't intentionally make it where they like have this birthmark that's like disgusting and what. I don't even know how to describe it, but don't make them have a missing chunk of their head, and don't make them like a horrible haircut. That's another one. Like, just have some taste. Doesn't like make the hair cool and almost unrealistic. A lot of video games and anime and cartoons and stuff, the hairstyle is unrealistic. It's very hard to pull off in real life. So just remember that. Like, there's something cool in haircuts that are hard to accomplish in real life. So maybe there's something there, a little nugget of truth. Man. Whew. It's 3:00 in the morning, guys. Just so you know. All right. Here we go. Here's the next topic, okay? I like theme parks, I like roller coasters and stuff. Like, I don't enjoy roller coasters. I have an issue with heights and whatever. So like, I don't ride roller coasters. I don't like being strapped into something that I don't have any control over. right? But I like going to the theme park itself and I walk around all the time, I get like 10K steps a day or whatever, so walking isn't a problem. I enjoy going there, and I usually go with my best friend, and he doesn't ride rides either. So we just I got 3 kids, so I just push the stroller. I have the backpack. He's got an extra backpack or whatever. And when they go on the rides or whatever, we either sit down and just chit chat, or like we go make line for the next line for them, so that once they're off, they come to us, replace us, and then we get out and either go to the next line or go get some food, go to the restroom, do all that stuff, right? I love it, actually. I love doing that. I like being in the atmosphere of all that, but like the biggest gripe that I have, the prices of the goddamn food. Holy shit. Like, I know that there's industries all over where you just feel like you're paying way more than necessary. So maybe that's going to the movies. You don't feel like movies should be worth $19 a ticket or whatever, when they used to be like 8 or 10 or whatever. All right. Maybe going miniature golfing should not really be $28 a person, considering that mini golf is really for like the kids and stuff, right? We're taking our kids. Why is it $28 for adults or people from the ages of 8 plus? And it's like, damn, right? The prices of the food at the goddamn theme parks are like, what the fuck? I don't even think French restaurants charge this much right now. I could get, for the price of this, I can have like a filet mignon, right, at a restaurant, and I'd still have change left over. And I know that like these fucking companies will undoubtedly be like, you're paying for the experience. What the fuck does that even mean? Because if I'm at a roller coaster theme park, the experience is getting on the fucking roller coaster, right? Like, and if you're me and you're not getting on the roller coaster, then what experience are you talking about? The smell? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The experience. That is such a horseshit line, okay? Because that's the same line that they feed you when you go to the movie theaters, right? You get the big 100-foot screen, IMAX, whatever, you know what I mean? And then they'll like, I guess they do like alcoholic drinks now at AMC. I don't know if they do that at like Regal Cinema or something like that, or Edwards or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that AMC was starting to have like cocktails and beers and stuff that they would bring you. You know what I mean? They'll bring you that shit. Now that's an experience. So maybe they've got something going on there actually, because they bring the service to you. But as far as I'm concerned, in a theme park, what experience are you talking about? You mean the experience of going in to this in-house restaurant for, Disneyland or whatever, and you're served the food by like 4 different 18-year-olds who have no customer service skills, no social skills either, right? They're like antisocial. You want fries? You want onion rings? And they won't even like make eye contact or some shit. I don't know. I'm not calling the kid out, right? I'm just saying that, like, where is the experience? Here's the deal. The experience of eating food at a theme park, you might as well. The fries that I had at Knott's Berry Farm were soggy and not. I don't even think that those were finished cooking. They tasted fairly raw, right? And then the burger just looked depressed. It looked like, because the bun and the it was off to the side a little bit, and it was just like, So, I mean, my buddy was the one who was hungry, right? My best friend was hungry, and he's like, let's go get, and I was like, what do you want? Burger, pizza? We checked out the pizza. I walked in there, and it was just so bare minimum, like, almost like their Alfredo was almost like a boxed Alfredo inside of a little tray. You know what I mean? Like a little dish tray thing in there, right? Behind the glass. And then the pizza looked like a shitty version of Red Baron cheese, right? Like, I don't really think that there's quality in that shit. at all. And the experience is bogus as hell. So fuck that. It was like $18 per slice or something, right? And I just looked at him and I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm sorry. I had never gone into that fire brick pizza place, the brick house over in whatever next to the Boysenberry tour, over by the arcade. You just walk over and there's a pizza place right there, right? An Italian place. You walk in, it smells like cheese and like shitty tomato sauce in there. So it doesn't have the aroma of the garlic and the fucking, like the actual Parmigiano Reggiano, right? And I would know because I'm a home fucking cook. Johnson, Papa Hobbs, come on, help me out here, guys. Right? There's a way to make shit correctly. And then there's a way to just like grab frozen shit. I mean, I kind of want to just take Gordon Ramsay through that fucking park so he could just be like, oh my fucking God. This is fucking horrible, mate. You're charging $34 for this and it's fucking half cooked, mate. I really, that's how I feel about it, right? So we went to the coaster. We went to the whatever that area is. God damn it, I'm getting rusty on it. I go often enough, but it's the boardwalk. There we go. The boardwalk area. It's like Coasters is what it's called or something. So it's like a burger joint, The burger wasn't necessarily like the worst thing in the world. I don't know. It reminded me of like cafeteria burgers from like elementary school in some sense, right? The way that meat just doesn't really hit right. I don't know if it's a lack of garlic or something. I don't know. It was a depression burger with some sadness fries, right? I still ate them because I'm a friggin' animal. I'm just friggin' like, whatever, just eat it. My buddy's like, you want to finish this, man? I'm like, screw it, just fucking eat it. Raw potato, cooked potato, who gives a shit? I'm just so fucking tired of places like that hiding behind the experience as to why it's charged like that. Ultimately, let's just conclude this and just say, if you're gonna fucking serve me food, but it costs like $35, it better be the best goddamn fries. Best fucking onion. Oh, that's right. I had onion rings and they were just soggy. And I will say that it wasn't a total loss because in some sense, like it pissed me off, but it pissed me off enough to where I'm like, I'm just going to make onion rings from home and I'm just going to like bring them next time or some shit. And you bet your ass, I went not shortly, shortly after that, I went back. I brought my own fucking food, some teriyaki chicken. I was eating on the car ride and shit. Hell no. I ain't doing that shit again. So, for you asshole theme parks out there, Knott's Berry Farm, Fiddlesticks, I don't give a shit what you are, okay? Would you fucking get real and stop serving us like fucking dog shit food and calling it an experience? This is a slap in the face, okay? Cut the shit. I swear to God, I'm going to tag Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland, Six Flags. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just so tired of it. You cannot hide behind the word experience. And then it just has to be one of the worst burgers. Like, dude, that's what I mean. Like, you just got to know that if it's worse than a double burger from McDonald's or like, if you can get a better burger off of a dollar menu at Jack in the Box, well, what the fuck, dude? I could have got like 30 fucking burgers. I could have fed an entire corner of people at Knott's Berry Farm for the same price as one burger or maybe two or whatever, right? It's just, that is madness. There's no fucking way. And you know what? Why don't you go ahead and cut the staff in half? Because most of those guys need to just fucking step it up and actually have some work ethic. And I'm not shitting on anybody in general, because don't get me wrong, some of those people are lovely people. They love being at Knott's Berry Farm. They love doing the janitorial work. They love doing that stuff, and the last time I went, funny enough, the one of the guys with the badge and like the broom and the dustpan, he just walked by when we walked out of Coasters, and my wife was right there, and he just went like, "I'm so sorry. There's a policy there's no Misfits shirt allowed." And it was just hilarious, right? Because he's like, no Misfits allowed, but he was a punk, because he had a punk shirt on himself. So he just looked at my wife. He's like, sorry, we have a policy, strict policy, no misfits allowed, and we both just laughed our asses off. He seemed like a lovely person. It's really not, it's not him, okay? And my cousin worked there for like 10 years with the horses and shit. So like, he knows the areas where there's like kids that are just having their first job, and then there's just no, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be a place for a first job, but like, come on, train the kids on how to do customer service. Make it an experience, man. You can't hide behind the word experience while making it one of the shittiest experiences ever. The only experience being getting on that fucking roller coaster after an hour and 20-minute wait, right? Where's the experience there? By the way, I have a fucking gold pass to go to both Knott's Berry Farm and Soak City. Okay, I have like a top tier card, right? But I don't have a fast pass. Now, a fast pass for one ride is like roughly $12 to $15 if you really want like one ride, like maybe Supreme Scream or like Ghost Rider, especially Ghost Rider. We just never go on that one. And my daughter and my wife are the roller coaster riders. Both my daughters are, but one's only 7, so she can't ride all of them. But like my 12-year-old, she went on Supreme Scream finally, and wow, you know, like she was scared, but she did it, and I'm very proud of her. But like a fast pass for that, all right, I'll pay the fast pass for one. But if you have a park fast pass, that shit is $600 fucking dollars. I paid, okay. The company that I work for actually buys out Knott's Berry Farm for an entire night. So everybody else leaves, and then my company gets to go. Only staff and only family members of that staff. So they actually give us a discount on those passes. By the time we go up there, first thing I do is I go straight to customer service. I get that shit done because I ain't riding shit. So just saying, I have a top tier pass, and even that, man, I'm in line for an hour or so. So like, just considering the fast pass, like $600 fucking dollars for a fucking fast pass. Holy shit. I mean, not every ride would really be worth the fast pass, I guess. I don't know. The teacups, are you really going to want to? I mean, sure, I guess. Look, if you go at least 12 times, maybe it's good. Like once a month, maybe it's good for the year. But $600 fucking dollars. That just blew me away when my buddy was like, he was looking at the price. My best friend, he was just like, oh, I'm just checking out the fast pass. And then all of a sudden I just heard, oh! And I was like, dude, what? He was like, bam. And I'm like, oh, is that for the year? Yeah, dude, $600. I was able to buy 5 yearly passes on gold for less than that. I bought myself, my wife, and my 3 kids. Well, I guess my son, who's only 3 now, you know, he didn't need it. But yeah, can't believe it. Anyway, that's my rant about theme park food and theme park prices, and maybe that's what it is that I'm kind of just targeting the food, okay? Like, you say what you want about the price of buying a pass or a ticket for the day or whatever, and parking, paying for parking and shit like that. All right, you can make arguments about that, but the food, either drop the price or keep the price, and you up the shit out of that friggin' cooking skills, right? Like, you need to fucking put some arugula, you need to have some seasonings, you need to, there better be a mint leaf on that plate, you know what I mean? It better be like gourmet. It better be fucking bomb. And you better stop just offering like chicken tenders that are overcooked and dry. What the fuck? Yeah, that is an experience, isn't it? When you're having to chew through God, I don't even know what it tastes. When they were cold and dry like that, it felt like you were biting into like like instead of breaded chicken, it was just stale breaded chicken. You know what I mean? It's so terrible. Fuck theme parks and their fucking food prices. All right. Now here's another thing that again, moving on. We're just going into another topic. This one's a little random, but it's like, see this haircut? This man bunish thing going on here, right? My man bun. The beard, right? I don't expect everybody to be able to pull this look off, right? And so I thought about it while I was walking around. I saw a lot of dudes wearing like, you know, gangsta style clothing with like extra large shirts. Like, you know, the sleeve is over here, so they look like they got like Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. And then they got like extra large, like baggy shorts. And so they go like, you know, they're like down to here, but like the fact that they got to be folded so much around the waist because they're only a 32, but they're wearing like a size 38. I don't know, man. I just can't pull that look off. You know what I mean? Gangsta clothing. It just doesn't fit anymore. I don't know. I could never, like, I could wear a gold chain, but it won't look good on me, right? Like, only certain guys can pull off certain looks. You know what I mean? Not every guy can have that, like, 70s haircut and fucking bell bottoms and shit. You know what I mean? So I just thought about, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with dressing like that. It's just, I cannot dress like that. I can't. Sure, I got some flavor. You know, sure, I got some style. But, like, I don't think I could dress like that. And, like, I don't know. Imagine... it's sort of like, imagine dressing like Urkel. You know what I mean? Like, dressing like Steve Urkel and shit. And showing up to a mosh pit at a metal concert. Everybody's going to be looking at you. Because it's like you're so out of place and stuff like that, right? So I don't know. It was just a little thing that I noticed and I thought about it while walking by. I was like, you know, not everybody can wear chaps. You know, not everybody can wear a vest, a leather vest and shit like that. The hipster look, you know, I don't know. Not everybody can pull off using a pocket watch, right? So just something I wanted to say about that, you know. Make sure that you're being true to yourself and you're not trying to just fit in and stuff. Not everybody can do a flat top. You know what I mean? Like, I had a fucking flat top. Oh man, I had a flat top when I was a kid. But I rocked the flat top, okay? I did that shit. And it looked all right on me, okay? And by the way, Schwarzenegger had a flat top, okay? So, suck it. All right. See what else we want to talk about. I wrote it down in my notes just because, like, there's enough to talk about. Right. Oh, the big one. Oh, the big two, technically. I only had one topic when I wrote this down, but then developments, right? Progression, something else happened, so might as well do both now because they're quite related. Oh. Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I'm not a hater. Again, I don't care. It's Grand Theft Auto is actually a really good franchise, in my opinion. Okay, my opinion is that Grand Theft Auto is actually a really good franchise. I grew up playing the first 3. Okay, like I played 1 for a little bit, but I was gifted on Christmas or something Grand Theft Auto 2 back in the day. With the over-the-top view, cartoonish drawing and stuff like that, and you drive, you know, your car. Again, it's like over the top. It's like Spy Hunter, right? You have to drive while having a bird's eye view, so you really don't know what's ahead of you and shit. You accidentally run people over, and next thing you know, the cops are coming. And so you bust out your rocket launcher, right? Like a normal civilized being. Punch in some cheat codes, right? I loved Grand Theft Auto for a long time. I actually loved 2 very much. I loved 3 very, very much because that, you want to talk about nostalgia? That one was a very big nostalgia deal. That one, oh, I must have been in 7th grade. And I had moved to Arizona, so I was a little homesick for California, and my best friends were out here and stuff. So when I came back to visit, went over to my best friend's house, and I believe he bought Grand Theft Auto 3, and oh, all we did was play that shit all damn night. Must have been till like 3 or 4 in the morning, who knows? Just like right now, 3:21. But yeah, man, like when you think about it, like for me, that one hits a big nostalgia factor. Okay, I just really want to say that. Moxie's sleeping. That's my cat, Moxie. Yeah, that one I know that I don't know, like not too many people talk about Grand Theft Auto 3, but from the things that I've seen, people don't really like Grand Theft Auto 3 that much, and to those people I say, how dare you? How dare you? Never say anything bad about 3. I like 3 a lot. It has a high nostalgia point to it, okay? Like really. And then came Vice City, and I know a lot of people, once Vice City came out, whoo, yes, I agree. Vice City kicked ass. It's friggin' phenomenal. And then came my favorite, San Andreas, because that was modeled after home for me. The Grove, from the first town that you're in with CJ's house, the Grove, that's right up the street where I live. Now, I'm not in the city of Garden Grove, California, but I got a couple of friends on Twitter out there that are. Hey, guys. Sup, Dark Lord. So Garden Grove is what it was based on for the Grove. I mean, you had a lot of places in there like that. I don't remember that, but I remember that distinctively because right when I played it and it said the Grove, I was like, hey, wait a minute. The freeway, it's right there. Is this supposed to be Garden Grove? Wait a minute. You know, like, oh, yeah. Yeah, and then Mulholland was supposed to be like, you know, Hollywood. You saw the Hollywood letters up there and stuff, and I'm like, oh, dude. It's modeled after Los Angeles. It's modeled after Southern California. Isn't that crazy? Oh, look what I did. I woke her up. I hadn't pet you all night, honey. Sorry. And now she's like looking at me. Yeah, I guess once San Andreas came out and I invested many, many hours into that, after San Andreas, I really just, and I always say this all the time, and I don't mean it in a literal sense, but it's sort of like my phrase that I like to use about why I don't play Grand Theft Auto anymore. And it has to do with a lot of the people that I interacted with throughout the years. You know, it has to do with like in high school when San Andreas came out. It's funny because like I had been playing it since 7th grade. So like in 7th grade, one of my best friends, Willie, right, came back to Arizona and we were talking about Grand Theft Auto and he was like, oh, dude, he's Filipino. So he's like, oh, dude, did you know that you can like go and be with a prostitute and then like once they get out of the car, you can like run them over and get your money back? And like I didn't really think of it at the time, but I was like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, okay, you know. And to him, and you know, it was funny, right? At first. And then Vice City came out. And everybody's like, oh, this is a great game. And then like, hey, did you know that you can run over prostitutes and get your money back? And I was like, yeah, that's very much, you know, sorry, man, that's a few years ago. That's very 2000 to 2001 by now, man. It's kind of old news for me. Appreciate it, though. It's funny for about 5 seconds. And then San Andreas came out, right? And once again, everybody's like, oh, San Andreas is great, man. Did you know you can run over prostitutes and get your money back? And this is high school by now, like 10th, 11th. It was like 11th grade, like junior year for me, right? And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. You guys are fucking losers. No offense, guys, but you're fucking pathetic. If the funniest thing that you can come up with to do in Grand Theft Auto is simply running over hookers and getting your money back. There's tons of funny shit that you can do in that game. You can get like a helicopter and crash it into shit. You can get a fighter jet. I forgot all the weird shit that I was doing. I remember CJ for me. A lot of people, you know, I dressed my CJ up, right? Everybody told me that they had him looking all gangster. They had him looking with like a huge afro and a disco suit and stuff. No, my CJ basically looked like Dennis Rodman with a suit on, and he would ride a bicycle, and I would use an Uzi. You know what I mean? So he was basically a hitman on a bicycle, but had like pink hair like Dennis Rodman and shit. One of the funniest and coolest things I ever done, in my opinion. I thought it was funny. One of the funniest things you could do is ride that bike around everywhere and like run people over with that bike. I don't know. You could use a cheat code to turn the hovercraft, like the low gravity on. You could drive your car and like crash into people and stuff. There's a ton of fun stuff to do. Running over hookers was so 2000 by 2006. You know what I mean? So Grand Theft Auto is a lovely franchise. Like I love it. But the thing about it is that it's sort of like a double-edged sword, right? It's like people enjoy it like myself and stuff with a balanced take about it, but then other people just love to go around and just cause chaos and get on the microphone and just talk shit all day. I don't know. It's like, imagine a 28 to 35-year-old dude in a lobby or whatever, or like being on Grand Theft Auto, like, you know, just there's something like immature. Okay, I know that might sound a bit abrasive, so I'm sorry about that kind of stuff. I told you I'm going to piss some people off, but it's like there's something immature about the idea of like finding it funny. If I got my money back from that hooker, is it really that funny, you dipshit? It's not that funny, man. I thought it was funny, I guess, at first because I didn't think about doing it. And then I did it and I was like, oh, I guess. Sure. It's not like you make money on it. I don't know. It's fucking stupid. So Grand Theft Auto 6, right? I remember at first I was making fun of it because, you know, I guess development got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, you know, more developments, and everybody was saying, oh my God, this thing's going to be pushed back until 2030 if they keep this up. And then some people were defending it, saying, well, the graphics are really, really intense. You know, they might have to consider, you know, the hardware in the future so that it can run properly, all these things. And I remember just making a joke like, yeah, you know, because we need such fine details, like if the shoelaces are tied, or when they eat some French fries, I want to make sure that I could see the salt on the fries, right? Because the amount of rendering was really what I was concerned about. If Skyrim was having trouble processing on the PS4, right? If it was having trouble rendering the environment as you were moving through it, the trees would be loading and then the hills would be loading and the background mountains. So it's like if Skyrim, which was much older already, and it was ported in a sense to the PS4, right? It was like it started out on the PS3, and the PS3, trust me, man, that shit got a little warm, and like I could see that it was struggling to render, you know, all the trees and all the creatures and people through the forest and whatever. And then the PS4 version comes out, and it's sorta, it's way better, but it still had its moments. Still glitched sometimes. And they were gonna take, you know, Grand Theft Auto 6 and like absolutely put it on steroids. I was like, dude, is the PS5 even gonna be able to handle this shit? Because you guys don't understand, like most of us, and I made that argument on Twitter. I said, like, most of us, I don't think care too much about the graphics anymore. Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, I'm sure had enough graphic. There's nothing wrong with those, right? Nobody was saying like, God damn these graphics. What kind of shit are you pulling, right? Nobody was complaining about the graphics of Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, were they? Were they? Well, I'm sure a couple of assholes were because they're never satisfied with anything. But fuck that, like, I don't know. I'm on whatever team says that I don't really need the graphics. We just need better games, like better gameplay, better stories, more depth, more variety in the sense that, like, you know, multiple endings or like multiple character builds, you know. We need better skill trees, more skills, more inventory stuff, more items, more special items. You know, I don't know. There's things you can expand on, but certainly don't polish the living shit out of something to where my console is like punished for trying to render everything on screen at once, you know? So I don't know. That's just my take, guys. So Grand Theft Auto 6, that's one thing about it, was that it was being pushed back and pushed back, but now it's been announced and everything, right? And you guys know what I'm going to say. And then all of the people that, I buy physical is the way. And you bitches now have an empty box with a fortune cookie fortune with a digital code on it inside of there. But it's a physical piece of paper, isn't it? You said you wanted physical. You can get your case now. Now I admit I'm being cheeky, just fucking with you guys. Totally messing. I think it's a travesty. It's obviously a huge slap in the face, especially for the people who absolutely do physical. So I'm only playing with you guys a little bit, but I was also trying to say to everybody months ago that, like, physical, as far as an economic or like a business practice, right, for these companies, it's not digital for them saves so much money. And yes, it comes with some caveats, like the fact that you're not really purchasing and buying. I understand that, okay? But I will also stipulate that most of the time when I buy digital games, or when most people do, these licenses last long enough to where you can definitely play them, finish them, and unless it's a game that you really love dearly, you could buy physical anyway, right? If you love Expedition 33, and you probably do, you could definitely get that in a physical copy, right? So there's still that avenue. But games, it's just weird because, like, so many people have, it's like I keep hearing that people talk out of both sides of their mouth about this one, right? It's like not that long ago they were saying that all modern games and AAA games are fucking slop, right? Oh, all the new games suck. Retro is the way. Old games are the way. And then they also said, you know, that, like, if we just keep like Call of Duty games, right? Like, they're just pissing those out. There's nothing different about it. There's nothing been improved. You just basically putting the same game out with different skins on it or whatever, right? Yeah, absolutely that argument was being made. And yet, here is everybody now saying, oh, I can't believe that modern gaming is going to shit. I can't believe that physical. It's like, but were you even going to buy it? I thought you called it slop. I thought you said it was just reskinned, right? Doesn't make any sense to me. How can you talk shit on modern AAA gaming or whatever, and then when a modern AAA game comes out, you're bitching about how it's going to be digital only or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. I don't agree with that. You can't hold both positions on that. I never talk shit on modern gaming. Some modern games are good, some suck. I don't know. I play modern games. I play a lot of digital only games. Like, they don't even have a physical copy. So nobody gets to give me that digital bullshit. You know what I mean? Fuck that. So unfortunately, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6, I feel bad about it, but I wasn't gonna buy it, guys. Like I said, I've laid my Grand Theft Auto legacy to rest. It died with San Andreas for me. I really should go back. Like look, if I'm buying any Grand Theft Auto games, I'm going back and buying 4 so I can play it. I never played 4 or 5. Yeah, I know. Shame on me. Not really. Backlog's crazy. Not really. I have more important things to tend to, like life, 1, and 2, other games. I don't like, I'll be honest with you guys, personally, I don't like playing the trendy games. I don't like doing that. I don't like being a part of the conversation because most of the time it's just arguing and shit like that, you know? And even if it wasn't arguing or whatever, it's just like, do I really need to spend $70 just to be a part of the fucking conversation? My buddy Unclechunt over on Twitter was saying the same thing. He made a video about it, a couple weeks back. We keep throwing videos around and stuff like that. And he just said, hey guys, I'm making a video real quick. Just want to let you know that I honestly do not care about Grand Theft Auto 6, or I forgot what it was. Maybe it was Crimson Desert, right? He was just like, I play games that are older. I buy games that are digital for a dollar or two. And he's like, that makes me happy. And I cannot tell. That is my, right there, me and Unclechunt like this. Because that is the way that I'm doing it. I never played Maniac Mansion. Such an old game. It's like 30 years old, right? Why the fuck should I rush to play a game that everybody else, oh, you guys got to play this. Oh, you guys. No, you fucking don't. You do not have to play it. You can carry on with your life, and God forbid, look at your fucking backlogs, guys. Look at the backlog, okay? I think we ought to get way more serious about that, especially with all of this stuff going on with PlayStation. Holy shit, man. PlayStation just shook the world. The gaming world is in shambles right now. Retro gamers are up in arms, man. Just freaking meltdowns all over Twitter. Literally all day today, all I kept seeing was, well, that's it. Fuck you, PlayStation. And then it was like at Sony PlayStation or whatever. Fuck you. Fuck you and your mom. You know what I mean? Like, whoa. Whoa, guys. Like, let them commit suicide. I don't know what to tell you. I don't agree with that shit. I think it's bullshit. But like, I'll be honest with you, my PS4, I haven't bought shit in months for that console. If something comes up on a digital deal for something that I needed or like have wanted for a long time from a long time ago, which you can be sure is no Assassin's Creed game, just because I never really was attracted to that. I'm not buying Assassin's Creed. I'm not buying Call of Duty Ghosts or whatever and shit, I'm not playing those games. I'm waiting for them to release a digital version of Ape Escape 3 so I can play that finally. I'm a big Ape Escape fan. As a PlayStation fan, Ape Escape is my shit. I love catching monkeys with a net. And I love all the cool gadgets that come with it and shit. So, I don't know. I just have a completely different perspective about it. It doesn't harm me in the slightest. I feel bad for people that had PlayStation Plus subscriptions. I used to have it, And yeah, it did suck when I realized that all the games that I downloaded for free from PlayStation Plus didn't work if I didn't have the subscription. So there was the first sign for me. Luckily, I didn't pay for all that. It was free games that came with the monthly subscription, right? So there's that. But if I really, really want a game, I either buy it physical on whatever console, including Xbox or whatever. Although I don't have a disc drive on my Xbox. I was gifted a Series S. It doesn't have a disc drive. So what the fuck you want me to do, right? I will not be taking any flack from anybody who doesn't fucking know my situation or whatever. I'm a PC gamer now. After all these years, PC. I started out on PC when I was very young. Quake, Doom, Duke Nukem 3D, Lemmings, right? Fuck out of here. I will not be lectured by people who weren't even fucking born at the time that I was fucking playing games, all right? You were swimming in your daddy's balls while I was playing games, okay? Playing games like you don't know Jack. In which case, yeah, you don't know Jack, okay? Playing games from LucasArts and stuff, right? Full throttle, baby. Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8. Fuck would you know about PC gaming or gaming at all? I'm going to start having to use tall ones, huh? It's not enough. Anyway, so digressing back to, why I would... The whole PlayStation thing, it's like, they just announced it. They said that they were going to do it in 2028. With the amount of backlash that they're receiving right now, they might even change their mind. Maybe they'll come out in about 4 months and be like, we're really sorry about this, and we decided that with the customers and the public and the outspoken voices, we'd like to announce that we will in fact be making physical copies, but they'll be coming in USB form. I don't know. I've been talking about that for a while. If you guys want physical, there's nothing wrong with a USB drive. That'd be pretty cool, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It saves a ton of space. You don't have to have a CD-ROM and a big old thing or whatever. You can have sort of like the Switch, right? Or the Switch 2 with those little cartridges. If you can make it happen, make it happen. People just want physical stuff, and I do get why. It used to come with an instruction manual. It used to come with little cool, sometimes like a little map and stuff like that of the entire world and stuff, like Skyrim or Starflight for the Sega Genesis. It came with cool stuff. Might and Magic came with a map. It came with a walkthrough guide, like a strategy guide, like this thick of a book. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's great. Physical stuff is great, and it definitely should not go away. But it's like, what really irks me about this conversation, what really pisses me off, are the people that kept saying to vote with their wallets. This is such a myth. You know what I mean? Voting with your wallet wasn't going to change a damn thing about digital versus physical at all, except in the sense that perhaps it would have kept physical alive. But as you can see, it didn't do shit. I don't know what kind of decisions they were making up at the top chain of Sony, but they must have looked at their paperwork, realized that like digital gets like 85% sales, and it just saves so much costs for inventory, for shipping, for manufacturing, for whatever, that it's all upsides for them. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't make physicals necessarily, but it's also like look, with the amount of people that do physical collecting, there's certainly a portion of people that actually do that. But you can't seriously tell me that every game that comes out on the PlayStation is a physical game worth collecting. It just isn't. And it's been like that ever since I can remember. And I'll give you an example. If I'm correct, on the TurboGrafx 16, I've got like 8 titles myself from my childhood. The prices are ridiculous to buy any used copies of whatever. So fuck that, okay? But I believe I played a game called Tricky Kick. What a piece of shit game, okay? Not every game is worth collecting, okay? You do not need, like, you know what? There's another channel on YouTube that actually, his name is Clayton Morris. And he talked about that on one of the last videos because of this PlayStation thing or whatever, the death of physical. He said that, like me, where it's like, this is the way it's kind of going, we shouldn't get upset about it because that's just us being in an emotional state. And then he made a really good point about like, well, he's like, I loved 007 First Light, bought it when it came out, 100% completed it. But am I really going to play that game sometime in the future again? And he was like, no, I don't think I'm going to play that at all again. There you go, dude. Yeah. You're not going to play every game over and over again. Sure, it's nice to have the option to play it if you really must, but I mean, for fuck's sake, come on. There are games that I have right now that I haven't played and I own. First off, games that I have in my backlog that I own that I haven't even played yet, okay? But then there's games that I've owned, that I've beaten, that I've just never played again. House of the Dead Overkill. As much as I love House of the Dead Overkill and House of the Dead as a series, I just really haven't gone back. I don't see the reason to do it. You know what I mean? There's plenty of games like that. I just don't think that... I think it's cool to have a library of games and to be like a physical collector to the point of where you have that, like when you look back, it's like all of the games like in its full library. Which, by the way, does anybody know who's got the entire collection of PlayStation 2 games? From what I heard, that's a library of 1,182 games or something. That's fucking insanity. Holy shit. Right? I cannot fathom having 1,100 PlayStation 2 games, because there's no fucking way I'm playing any of those games on repeat except for the 20 that I really, really loved. Whether that's Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty, right? Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. But why would I play that again? I played those already like 5 times. I love those games, but I'm not probably going to play it again, right? I don't know, man. I love collecting myself. I've got my physical collection, and I've thought about that. I'm going to carefully curate my library now. I'm going to carefully select the games that I actually want to get, because I will play them again sometime in the future, because they're timeless in that sense. For some people, that's Ocarina of Time on the N64. That's A Link to the Past, right? Games like Metroid, like whether that's Metroid like Fusion or some like some rarer one, or the original Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. I know one that's timeless for me, Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. You can play that once every month, once every 2 months, and you could probably never get sick of it. It's such a clean game. So perfect for what it was and everything, you know? I could play games like Ape Escape again. Sure. I could even play Grand Theft Auto 3 again just for shits and giggles. But like, to be honest, I'm 37, so I'm almost 40 years old. Do I really want to spend time in my later years playing games that I've already beaten? To what end, right? I've got a real backlog. I've got games that I never played, like Xenoblade Chronicles or whatever, Xenoblade series. I've never played The Witcher, which I have in my basket for GOG right now. I've never played Cyberpunk, right? I've never played Assassin's Creed. And I'll be honest with you, the reason I never played Assassin's Creed is sort of the reason why I never played Final Fantasy, is because the fans drove me away. Same thing with Zelda. Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Assassin's Creed are 3 franchises that the fans were so toxic that they drove me away and scared me off. So I've got some games to play and some catching up to do, all right? Let's not take everything so personal. If you're a physical collector, I'm sorry about the way that things seem. But I'll also say this, okay? Purchasing physical wasn't voting for shit. It might have created the demand to keep physical around for whatever, you'd have to ask the company, the person in charge of those decisions, what the threshold would have been to keep physical alive. Like how many purchases would you need to justify keeping physical alive? And if they would have told you, at least 500,000 people or at least 200,000 people have to buy it, whether that's because of sales or whether it's because they need to sell that many copies, like actual physical copies. I don't know what the cutoff is. And until you guys tell me the answer to that shit, you are just shooting blindly and saying, well, it's all about voting with your wallet. It's all about, the buying physical so that you save physical. You don't really know the threshold that it would have taken. So if you can tell me that, then all right, I will have that debate with you. But that was never going to fix the problem. And as I've said with my buddy Chris, RetroRebellion over on Twitter, it's like, it's all about legislation, guys. Those terms of service are what the problem is, okay? Digital is not the problem. Chris made that point several times. Like, music isn't a problem like that anymore. We have most of it digital and you do totally own it. And like, they're not just going to take it away all of a sudden unless you've pirated or done something stupid. So there's that. But it's like, digital and physical are one and the same, right? They're both buying the game, the data, the file on the disc, or the file on the cartridge, right? Whatever it is. We both want to play. The digital user and the physical user both want to be able to play the same game and have the same experience. The difference between the physical and the digital in that sense only is the idea that the physical person thinks that, well, I've got it in my hands, so I don't need an internet connection and I can play it. And true, that is very true. But if I've got an internet connection and I can play it or whatever, or if GOG allows me to keep the game even if it's been delisted and play it or whatever, then I'm still okay with that. It's all about the terms of service. This is a legal issue, legislation, okay? We got to actually do something about that. And people will mention things like Stop Killing Games has tried passing a bill. I believe that it just failed yesterday or something. I haven't seen the bill myself. I need to take a look at those things. But that is how you actually fix the problem. So no offense to anybody who's been telling me about buying physical and how it's saving, and I'm not trying to offend those people or disrespect you guys, but it's the same crowd of people, not individually, right? Like maybe not my buddy XRP, maybe not my buddy 80s Retro, right? Shout outs to those guys. Maybe not my buddy OGSegaSteve. Maybe it's not them per se, but I've heard in this atmosphere, right? In these circles, the quote is something like, you're part of the problem because you buy digital games and that feeds the beast. That feeds the machine. No, dude. That's not how it works. They track those things differently, and it's all about what's convenient for them, right? And you can understand why they would want to push digital. It saves on a lot of costs for them, including not even putting a disk drive on the damn console, okay? They don't have to work with that kind of stuff anymore when you could just have a bigger stuff. Honestly, I wonder if I would even stipulate that. If you remove the disk drive, let's just say that the console, whatever it is $800, right? $700, $800, whatever. No disk drive. But the storage is starting at 2 terabytes. You save costs on the disk drive, and whatever they saved in it was transferred over to the memory issues, right? What about that? Maybe that could be a possibility one day. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dreaming here. That's fine. Maybe I'm just being hopeful. Okay. But we have to agree that the problem is legislation. It's what's written in the terms of service. It's how they're able to get away with telling us, you want to purchase this game? When we all know that word purchase is a loose term and should probably be changed to what it really is. They should say, would you like to lease this game, or would you like to rent this game until the license expires? In which case, that should not be, a digital copy of a physical game, right? It should not be the same price at all, right? Because you're not really owning the game per se. Anyway, it's been an hour. I digress. I'm not trying to start fights with anybody. Although I imagine I'm going to start. Look, that's what this podcast is going to do. Okay, I'm going to speak my mind. There's going to be a lot of people that get real bitter about things and fight me on it. Okay, I welcome it. If you have a better argument and you have a solution, I'm all ears. Okay, look at me. I'm all ears. If you have a better solution or something like that, and you've actually written up some kind of legislation, and you've actually put that investment into fixing the problem, I'm totally going to hear you. But if you're some physical collector with a huge ass library, all you've done is you've fed yourself, okay? You've served your own interests while claiming that that is the real battle, and it's not, okay? All you did was possibly help vote for the demand of physical games to stay alive at best, but you have not solved the problem of ownership. This is all about ownership rights, and if you guys want solutions, you should check out my friends MrSushiHut, Old Hunter Joseph, and RetroRebellion. Those 3 guys have tried coming up with some alternative ideas. They've come up with some other routes that you can take, and they've even suggested doing things that may be a bit difficult to pull off. Your average normie can't do it, but if you're into computers and stuff, back up your files, dump your ROMs, back up the games that you already own and stuff like that, right? Keep it. Find a way to keep your games. Don't go pirating, though, because that's part of the issue. The whole reason that they've gotten away with doing these things is that they're hiding behind a justification, the wall of justification, right? They get to hide, they shield themselves by saying, well, we're doing this so that pirates can't just take the file, upload it on the internet for everybody to have for free, or take the file, start burning CDs, and just giving them out on the street, right? And that's a noble thing, right? Like that makes sense. They obviously don't want to be gypped out of their money. And we do care about our developers, right? The people who are sitting behind the computer, tirelessly working hour after hour, figuring out where the glitches are, looking for the bugs in the game, making sure that we get the game that we love at the very end, right? So, as adults anyway, say what you want if you're a kid and you can't afford stuff like that or whatever. You're going to do your stupid shit and pirate or whatever. That's on you guys, right? Your parents should be buying shit for you as long as you're not asking for every new game and you're also not running over hookers all day. And yeah, you see why your parents don't want to buy you games is because you're just shooting the cops and you're just running over hookers to get your money back. Yeah, what a great influence, right? Everybody whose favorite game was Grand Theft Auto their whole life turned out to be well-adjusted people, right? Get real. Anyway, that's going to about do it for the episode, all right? This is the first episode of this show. I really hope that it uploads because YouTube was giving me a bunch of problems with my GoPro versions. But either way, I really, really appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying with me. I love all of you guys that have been there with me since the beginning and for supporting me and for encouraging me. Thank you so much. This is VGM Hero. You've been watching the VGM show. Have a great week, guys. I'll see you next time, all right? Stay out of trouble. Save the world out there, all right? Be good. Right. That's it, huh? Say bye, Moxie. I gotta go to bed too, man. Catch you guys later.